Hi guys, I'm DJ Smart, this is Lisette Bustamante, and welcome to More Than Dance. I know Lisette as many of you guys on the dance floor, on the stage, and on the TV screen, but today we're gonna get to know Lisette in the kitchen. So let's get started. First of all, what are we making today?
Well, what we're making today is a miso roasted salmon with a jasmine rice and a sauteed baby kale. Oh. Super healthy, super simple, and delicious.
All the right ingredients.
But before we start, you need to put your apron on. I picked this one just for you. Sophisticated, seductive, complex, and full body.
Oh, that's all me.
And then just, if you want to just tie it in the front.
I can do that.
And then go ahead and wash your hands real quick.
Gotta wash the hands.
We have to be clean
Keep
in
the
the
hands
kitchen.
clean, that's right.
You are gonna chop, these are shiitake mushrooms. Do you like mushrooms?
I love mushrooms.
Okay, good.
So first of all, Lisette, really quick, so how did you even get into cooking anyway? How were you become passionate about that?
Yeah, I was always passionate about cooking. Since I was a little girl. My mom was a single mom, and she had me take care of myself and my brother, and I just started kind of experimenting in the kitchen. And then I started like buying cookbooks as a teenager.
Oh, wow.
And then I would always entertain my friends when I started dancing, and then it was about 7 years ago, I decided to enroll myself in culinary school.
Wow.
Because it was always a passion of mine. I love food, I love to eat, and I love to entertain. I love bringing people together.
What do they say? The way to a man's heart is through where?
Yeah, that's how I got my husband.
His stomach?
There's certain dishes that like put a ring on it food, you know?
I like that.
You gotta get those together.
So how am I doing with my chopping so far? I did the best.
Beautiful and uniform. A student. You are a protege. Look at that. Look at these pieces. This is gonna be like a quick saute. If you do burn it, it burns like in 20 seconds.
So while we're on the subject of burn, have you ever crashed and burned at an audition before? Please tell me.
Yes,
what happened?
I have crashed and burned and forgotten choreography. But I will tell you my biggest crash and burn was actually for a call and it was for Janet. Actually, I think it was for like the Super Bowl performance, Janet Jackson's Super Bowl performance, and it was like a private call, and I had been working on a bunch of stuff at the time, so I really was not paying attention to like breakdowns and emails. I show up to the audition, which I knew everybody, thank God, at the audition, but I show up to the audition in like an orange top and like khaki pants, and everybody's dressed in all black. I am in orange and khaki, and I walk in, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't get the memo. Like, I did not read my breakdown, and everybody's just staring at me because I'm like, they're probably like, this girl just wants to show off her orange. I honestly, and part of me, you know, this is a good lesson. Part of me was like cringing and was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave, right? But I was just straight up about it, and I went up to Gil, actually, he was running the audition. I was like, totally didn't get the memo, guys. I'm really sorry. Do you need me to change, or can I stay in this? And he was like, just stay, it's totally fine, you know? Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and put this in the oven. The oven is ready to go. We'll set a timer, and then, yeah, our food's almost done. This won't take that long.
See how this turns out.
Yeah.
We'll let that cook for a second, and then we'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're back. The salmon is done, and we're gonna put it on here and get it cracking. This looks good.
Should we
looks
try?
Good. Let's do it.
There are forks over here, actually.
Put some rice in there, yeah. Oh, this is great.
And super healthy.
It's amazing. So let's talk a little bit deeper. How did you start dancing? How did you get into it?
Well, I loved to dance as a child, as a baby. I started with breaking, actually, just kind of street dancing, and then I taught myself by watching videos, back and, you know, rewinding them, pausing them, learning all the moves from videos, and then about 15, I took my first dance class.
What are some of your top career highlights? The best jobs that you've done or people you've worked with?
I think there are a few that stand out. for sure my top is Janet Jackson, because I had auditioned for her a few times and I didn't make it. And randomly one day, Marty Kudelka actually called me, because I had worked with Pink before with him, and they had remembered me from a previous Janet audition, and someone had to back out. And so they called me and they're like, can you come in? It's for a Janet job. We need you to learn choreography, like, you know, in 2 days, whatever. I was so nervous, and Janet was sitting in the corner, like right when I opened the door, and I like looked, and she was like, hi. And I was like, hi.
Be cool,
you know? Yeah,
relax,
be cool.
Play it cool.
That was probably like my top.
That's a good top one. I happen to know that you did a job with fellow Detroiter, Aaliyah. And
Many jobs,
yeah, and I think it's incredible. I love Aaliyah. Tell me your experience with her, and, you know, even leading up to her untimely passing, like, what was that like?
First of all, Aaliyah was one of my favorite artists to ever work for. Again, she was super down to earth, super chill girl, very intelligent, kind of quiet, but very just cool to be around, and I loved what she was doing artistically. So we ended up rehearsing for Rock the Boat video, a bunch of us, and rehearsal was just lovely. All the girls were great. You know, when you work on a job and everything is just so smooth and kind of just magical. It was one of those jobs.
It's not always like that.
It's not always like that, guys. It's just kind of like, and then they were like, okay, we're gonna take you guys to Miami to shoot in front of a green screen, and then we're gonna fly you all to the Bahamas, to like this really small island, and we're gonna shoot there for a week. Aaliyah was like, okay, I'm gonna leave and try and catch a flight out tonight. They brought a little boat up to the yacht, and they were off. I was walking to get something to eat, and one of the islanders drove up next to me and was like shaking. He's like, there's been a plane crash. Were you guys shooting the video? And like, I get chills talking about it.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, yeah, we just finished. And he's like, there's been a plane crash, it's on fire, it's on fire. And like, all the locals were like running everywhere. And then I see Fatima and Hype walking towards us, and Fatima's crying. And then they call a meeting, and they're like, okay, we're not sure if it's their plane, but it could be their plane that it went down. And we just started a prayer circle and started really praying, and kind of like all sitting in the room together. And it ended up being their plane. And because they,
so sorry.
yeah,
so unfortunate.
it's surreal. Like every time I talk about it, I still get chills, because just to be with someone in one moment and have such a beautiful, magical experience, and then a tragedy like that happen. At that time, I was dancing a lot, and I wasn't spending a lot of time with my family. And that can happen, because you get caught up in the, you know, the world and the industry, and you just like, oh, I got this job, I gotta go. I got really present to balancing my work with my family, and making sure I call my mom and check in with my family and spend time with my family, because you can do so many jobs and you get caught up in all of like trying to get to the next one, and then you realize like all these years have gone by and you're not in the present moment.
You're not living, you're existing.
Yeah, and balance, you know, and so yeah, that's kind of what it did for me. I have an amazing partner. I dated a lot in my career, and to find someone who understood my lifestyle. He's a composer, he's a film and TV composer himself, so he has crazy hours. And so when we connected, it was right, because I told him, I'm like, I have to travel and I have to do all of these things all the time. Are you cool with that? And he's like, guess what? I'm gonna come home at 5 in the morning sometimes. So we have an understanding, and I think the thing is like it's constant communication, saying what's there all the time, and like how to flow with things. Like, you know, we need a date night, we need to put this in the calendar, we need to go take a trip. You know, just balancing
prioritizing things.
You have to, and you know, because it just, you can't, you know, career is great. Yeah. Career is great, but my life, I feel like really got full and complete once I had married my husband and had my child. You know, it's like, okay, purpose, you know? And so I think it's
more to life than just your career.
There's more to life than just career. Yeah, have your career, but like know that there's a time and space for that, and honor that time and space. Yeah. But when you're with your family, like honor that time and space.
I agree.
You know?
Tell me about creating Ops, and how did you come up with that, and what is the sole purpose of that?
Yeah, so Creating Opportunities was developed by Shonique Sneed and myself.
Okay.
And we've been choreographer partners for many, many years and also best friends. So we had been teaching a lot of dancers for so many years and would notice like after class a lot of dancers would approach us and be like, hey, how do I get in the business? Or what should I be doing more of? What should I be doing less of? Like questions that don't get honored in a classroom setting.
Never.
Kind of just they wanted some like personal experience and some coaching. And so we sat on the couch and we're like, we need to develop a program for these kids because no one told us how to do it. So we set up like a whole curriculum and brought it to a couple of the conventions we taught on and started building these seminars for kids and then started a mentorship group. So it was like 8 kids at a time. We'd sit in my living room and talk about the dance industry and help guide them individually.
I love that. What makes you more than dance? In what way? How are you more than dance? We've seen some of the ways.
Yeah, what makes me more than dance is I embrace everything that's around me besides dance. My conversation is not just dance is just one component of who I am. I'm an artist, and so I like to just, use my paintbrush and paint as I go. And so I think we all are that. I think
your life story.
And I think there is a lot more to dance. Like a lot of times, I'll just be with people and they just want to talk about dance all the time, and it's beautiful and it's great, but balance, like you said earlier, I think it's really important to have a full life.
Yeah.
And
and a full stomach.
A full stomach. Hey!